SD Zakuto YamiShogun. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs, 2Bs, gundam.tk, and if you like your Gundams with a mix of humor and chibiness, well, I think this Zakuto YamiShogun could be for you from the fantastic Legend BB line. April 2013 release, the typical 1,000 yen. Fun cover art here from Bandai, as you can see the name both in katakana and in Japanese characters there. You've got Zakuto Darkness General there in the long-running BB Senshi line 381. One thing I've always found interesting about old-school kits like this is that this is a long time, of course, before I got into Gundam, is that the more people that I talk to in Japan, they are just as interested, if not more interested, in these kind of fun things that appeared in the fun animes and in the manga, as opposed to the actual canon Gundams, if you want to call them that were getting properly animated. So run around with a proportional 18-meter Zeta Gundam, not as fun as some of the fun stuff that was appearing in the weekly and monthly magazines and in the animes like SD Gundam Mark 1, 2, and 3, where we actually get to see this guy take on this whole old-school Musha style that has been with us in Gundam for decades since. So for the box tour, to actually see what you're going to be getting, well, he's got lots of different gimmicks there, but you can see that he's a traditional old-school Zaku who's just got a whole bunch of bling attached onto him, and more importantly, Musha armor there, because you can transform him back to his simpler form here, the light armor form, simple green body there all over the place. It looks like he's going to have a lot of seals. How much of this is painted, how much of this is seals, we'll have to see. You can see that the bandana there, or the eye patch, is going to go down and attach on. It's only going to cover up his right eye, but you can also move the mono eye, which is a fantastic bonus. And when you build him, you can take him from his light armor form to the much more familiar one here in his Musha form. And finally, what is the Darkness General all about? Well, the YamiShogun here. You can see that he's going to get some red lower body there and huge legs, and a whole bunch of silver armor and weapons that you can put on his upper body. So if you weren't impressed with the gold bling already, this should definitely catch a few medieval eyes. If by medieval you mean warring Japan there, but you can see action, weapons, and gimmicks from the time in terms of large robots are going to be recreated here and have some fun. He's got this massive silver sword there that's going to be looking good, and a huge cannon that you can attach into both hands. Various things can be attached into the back, and of course, old school samurai style, you can always take off your armor and have it displayed nicely in between battles. Nice looking art here as they're going to be showing off 2 of the 3 forms. I suppose the light armor isn't going to really sell a lot of people on that. And yes, it's onto English over here, as you get to see a pile of plates and him all completed there. A big plate of seals down there, but yes, plated parts down there. In terms of the gold for his Musha form, red, yellow, green, can't wait to see how they're all going to look out of the box. Because here they're showing off the 3 forms completely unpainted, with the light armor one looking good, showing off the eye. More gold bling there and a regular sword, and then that big silver one. But it's very cool to see them all laid out here. This is going to be making up the body parts there for the light and the Musha, and over there you've got all the parts for the YamiShogun and the stand, again, if it's washing day. Inside the box we go, where you're going to be treated to colors after colors. Nice gold, regular yellow there, while the goldy yellow there. Some big red parts there, lots and lots of seals, although it's going to be expected here. Some slightly metallic looking silver that should be looking sharp, and you've got some very Zaku green hidden on the inside. Here's the A-plate here, and they're all going to be saying Zakuto YamiShogun there in katakana, and it's a very nice, rich, deep green, which is going to be a lot of fun when you put it all together. You can see the standard limbs that are going to make up the body. Disappointing that it's going to be green hands there, but then again, it's going to have colorful weapons in its place, or being held there, and that's where you're going to be able to slide the all-important mono eye, well, at least on the left side of his face. With the B-plate being a nice dark gray here, you can see that there's lots of details if you wanted to go and paint up parts, like the skirts there and the butt thrusters on the back. You can see that you're also going to have the shoulder parts that are going to make up the pretty traditional stuff that you'd expect. Weapons holders, and even more important down there, you've got the feet and the big massive cannon there, 2 large pieces there, and then you're going to go and actually attach the front onto it with some very nicely carved details. You can tell Bandai is giving it their all for this Legend BB line. C1 and C2 here are going to come off the same place originally. They're just going to go and plate that one in gold, whereas this one is going to be giving you just the regular sword and some otherwise gold-looking parts that are going to go around the body. But this is definitely a huge plus, very well sculpted, and it's going to draw the eye very, very well for an only 1,000 yen kit. But light armor and Musha, get out of here. It's YamiShogun time here, as it's time to put on a big silver V in there, which is going to replace the gold one, unfortunately. Here's the sword that if you wanted to go, it's got some good details in there. You could paint that up and make it look even better. Massive shoulders and, yes, Wolverine claws, shortly after Wolverine came out. And here you've got the all-important eye cover. With the E-plate here taking us home, as you've got these large legs there, fancy waist skirts, and some oversized parts there that you're just going to be adding on to go along with a few small red details, which should add to an already colorful and cool-looking bad guy. Now, when you see a seal sheet like this, if it was something like a 1,500 yen high-grade Universal Century Nemo, not so happy, but for a colorful, fun take on an old SD classic, definitely forgivable. There's the mono eye there. Hopefully that's going to work, as I'm getting paged again by my Gundam Age system there. Ready? Let's see how this goes. Back to business here. Lots of intricate gold parts there that are hopefully going to go on well. You've got gold and silver there, and you've got, all importantly, for the blade, you can go and actually do that up in proper silver. Always great to see these Musha-esque parts down there going to be carved out properly on the seals themselves. Can't wait to see these in action. For these, definitely seems like something that's going to be adding to the kit as opposed to a detriment. The manual has quite the tale to tell if you want to go ahead and read that. More importantly is that grimacing red single eye there for both the Zakuto and the YamiShogun forms down there. And again, back to the old school Chinese characters. On the inside, you'll notice that you're not going to be wasting any parts. There's no X's to be seen on these overall large and well-crafted parts. You can put the head together there to go along with the eye and the mono eye. You'll see that that's going to move simple construction once you get him into his light armor form. And once you go on to page 2, then it's time to actually turn him into his Musha form, which is going to be adding a lot of regular armor and a lot of gold bling there. You'll see that you'll be putting the silver seals onto the actual blade there. And then it's time to transform into YamiShogun here, as you're going to be taking off all of that silly Musha armor there and adding on a whole bunch of silver bling and some big angry feet there, which are going to have some seals on them as well. Get the legs in there, make sure you've got the Wolverine claw in the correct hand there. Put the sword, you can take it and put it onto his back, or into his back there for storage, or hold it in hand. And if you want to take this big gun here, you can attach it into both hands by moving them up. And if you want to get him out of Dai Shogun form, it's time to take this and, like I said, just go and air him out like a futon. The color splash page here is going to be looking good, as you've got these cool different marks here for the light armor down there, the Musha, and then again for YamiShogun up there with the silver theme, as opposed to the gold one down there for Musha. I wonder which one I'm going to be showing off more. This one seems to catch the eye at the beginning anyway. Down here they're telling you, of course, buy a lighting marker, $2, and it's the best $2 you'll ever spend. And yes, the much beloved Onmitsu Gundam, who definitely had something to say and was always spying on this guy here. As it's time to go back to Comic World here, Legend 6, as we get to see him chained up and a whole bunch of silver armor fly in, and then he gets angry red feet as the good guys and the bad guys all get ready to clash, and Onmitsu gets ready to do his thing. Thank you, Marshy. The unbox here for the Zakuto from Legend BB is a lot of fun actually, some great colors there, well sculpted parts, just a fun manual overall, and whenever they're going to be throwing in big pieces of gold bling like this, you can definitely see the appeal of this kind of SD, and it makes you want to go back and watch the SD Mark III animes, and 1 and 2, because they're all worth a laugh. Anyway, everybody, don't forget to stick around and see this all put together, and if you have a chance, go check out the anime that he's from, and let me know what you think with a comment down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Wrong color, but still a Zaku. How about his toes? See ya. Just call me Sanbai Shogun. I'm just catching things as they fall down. Let's see if I can top my high score today. You know, this thing seems to always go off around 7 p.m. Oh, it's faster. Wake up. Ah. Bad. Again. That's why I don't answer your page that often.